So I just wanted to ask you a few questions around like I have heard so you are working as a project manager and you're working with the AI tools currently at Affinity, and you have come on a certain visa which you will talk about directly from Pakistan. And I want to highlight it around the people. For example, if you have families and if I've already done masters and you're working for like 10 years in Pakistan, you don't want to come through the student route and start from scratch all over again. So, what approach did you take? What do you recommend for Pakistani people? What visas are there other than H1B for them to come?
Great question, Usha. I think there are few direct paths where you don't need to go into master's or any education route. The most common is obviously the H-1B visa, where a US company hires you and sponsor you. But again, it's a lottery based and it's very competitive as well. Another strong option is the L1 visa, which is my favorite, and obviously I came on that, where you join a multinational firm like Amazon, Microsoft, or any other, like Systems Limited, maybe in Pakistan, and transfer to US, which is more predictable, right? There are a few other paths, like if you are able to build a strong personal brand with measurable impact, you can aim for the O1 visa or even the EB1A green card for extraordinary ability, but they have a very high bar. More realistic path in this category is EB2 national interest waiver, where you can self-petition for a green card if you work, especially in areas like AI or cybersecurity, and obviously your contributions are going to benefit the US national interest. There are a few other as well. Alternately, people work remotely for US companies and they eventually relocate them to, US on H1B or L1B or L1A or L1B as well. And then take an indirect route. Like there is an option to take indirect route as well from countries like Canada or, getting transferred internally. So this is the path for the people who are doing job. But if you're a founder, right? If you have a startup, right? You have open doors through entrepreneurship programs or extraordinary ability visas. So overall, if you ask me, what are some of the realistic paths today? Though there are a few options, but my favorite are L1, H1B, and EB2 national interest waiver, depending on your expertise and strategy.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good informative answer around all the visa options that people, Pakistani people, and all the people who are watching the video will know about. So you came on L1. So what was your process on coming on L1 from your company? How did you, for example, there are a lot of employees, everybody wants to relocate to US. So was that one thing that company decided, okay, this person, was that project based or was that something that you need to work towards? Like, what was your strategy of coming directly from for L1?
So this is a very interesting story. I was flagged as a low performer because of few issues in my life back in 2017, I think. And then I pivoted that moment in my life and performed so well that when opportunity to relocate few people from my team came, I was the automatic choice. Uh, Again, there are a lot of things that go into this, like you need to be visible at your work. Obviously, you need to have good relationship with your manager. That's 101. And the main thing is when opportunity comes to you, you are ready from your side. You should not have any excuse. And we always heard, Anusha, that eventually life gives you a chance that you need to leverage. And I think this was my chance, which I leveraged.
Nice. And how has your experience been with being on L1? What were the limitations that you have faced? And does that lead towards permanent residency?
Yes. So L1, first of all, L1 is a dual intent. You will get your green card, and I got mine. But there are not everything is straightforward. Even you know that in the US visas, right? On L1A, you can not change the company. Uh, and this is one of the reasons, most of the L1 employees that got relocated from India or Pakistan, they stay a long time with their, I would say, mother company. So yeah, that's the challenge. And apart from that, there is some luxury as well, with the H1B, with all the hype and all the focus across the US on H1B. L1 is like moving along on the side like a big brother, silent big brother. And you can, if you're on this path, you can get to residency. But again, you need to have good relationships with your company. You are contributing to significantly to their business. So all these things matter. But good thing is L1A is a dual intent. You can get your green card.
For L1A, do you require the perm process, or does it like directly skips the perm process and they skip to the adjustment of status?
So it depends, right? If you're a manager, you must be on L1A visa, and then you have a path to a multinational manager route, which is I think EB1C, and you don't need a perm. But if you're going with you are an individual contributor, or your company decide no, you will not be, because there is a lot of effort and defense that you need to in terms of documentation that you need to provide to USCIS. Sometimes companies say, okay, let's stick to EB2 and EB3. Those are equally good path, but yes, perm process is in there.
So how was your journey with that, like towards the green card? What were the difficulties that you faced? Because you mentioned that not everything is a straight path.
Right. So when I relocated to US, obviously I there were 15 people reporting into me. Some of them were US citizen, some from India, Turkey, Pakistan. And I thought that I have a case for EB1, but to my disappointment that didn't happen. But still I was able to go on the EB3 route and secure my green card. It is a little bit long journey, but eventually it happened, right? So this is a double-edged sword. Like, though you cannot move away from your company, but still it gives you a safety as well. For example, in my case, even when company was struggling, they have this feeling that he's our very old employee, he left his family back home and relocated for us, so they took care of me. So yeah, you need to have these sorts of relationships in your company. Being very visible at your work, that helps, certainly helps.
Okay. And what if you are laid off on L1A?
Hmm. Now you're talking. So on L1A, if you get laid off, you have 60 days grace period,
Yeah.
and you have to find a job which in turns give you a sponsorship, which is a very hard path. Most of the time, 90% of the times you don't get it. So that's a difficult phase if you get laid off on L1. But there are other doors, like you can go to F1 route, you know about it, right? B1, B2. And if you are lucky and you happen to stay here, there is one more path on day one CPT as well, where you can secure a job if company prefers to do sponsorship. So what I have seen, even people who got laid off on L1, they never went back to Pakistan or India, right? They always stay in the country, but that's again a different battle they go through.
And since, so have you been always working as a product manager, or did you pivot your career, or were you like always in tech?
Yes, so I have always been in tech, but I was an application engineer when I got relocated, and then I was a people manager, as I told you, 15 people reporting into me in a function. Then I realized I don't like people management. It's very tough, especially with 15 people with multicultural background. Then I pivoted into AI project management. And now I'm a senior project manager, obviously. So it has been like in project management, it has been roughly 4 to 5 years out of 9 years of my career.
Nice. And what was your journey in Pakistan? Because I saw your videos, you mentioned about your bachelor's and like you're not getting admission at LAMS at that point, and then you got relocated to US. So what were you working as in Pakistan? How has things been for you there?
Yeah. So I graduated from JIKI in 2016, and
The Ghulam Istikhan University.
Imam Ishaq Khan University, yes. It's an institute basically. But I was lucky that before graduation, I had three jobs. There was no mentorship, but GIK has this good on-house drive where companies come and hire people. So I was lucky to crack one of the interviews and three of the interviews actually, but one of those was Affinity. Uh, no mentorship. I went in for the money, right? They have the highest salary, so I went in. After that, after working there for 2 to 3 years, they relocated me to US in 2019. So I graduated in 2016. I worked for them for 3 years in Pakistan, and then they relocated me to US.
Do they relocate you to other countries as well, other than US?
Yeah, I think there was an option for me to go to Canada, which I obviously didn't go, and then Turkey as well. And you know why I chose US for obvious reasons.
What obvious reason?
Like the opportunity and the freedom, right? That
Yeah.
comes along with it, right? I think even some of my friends who left US for Canada, they were eager to go back, come back to US. So I think there is a difference, though, if you are living in a place for 7 years, you know the cracks and rules, but yeah.
And what advice do you have for Pakistani students and people who are watching from Pakistan if they want to come to US on L1 visa or on any other work permit visa that you have mentioned? And what things they need to focus on mainly if they want to excel in their career?
Great question. I think one thing which I see Indian market have, but Pakistan market don't have, is the visibility, right? I think like the link. So in Pakistan, people don't prioritize LinkedIn branding, right? They don't, post anything on LinkedIn, right? I think this is the fundamental step I would say to them to start posting on LinkedIn and be visible. You don't know, there are a lot of people who I know who again don't post on LinkedIn, but still they got relocated from Pakistan to Europe or US or Canada because some startup reached out to them,
Okay.
right? I would highly encourage people to, even to reach out to the founders on LinkedIn, right? Even if they are in Silicon Valley or wherever they are, and ask them, what services they can provide for them. So this is the fundamental shift I think Pakistan market and Pakistani graduates should do in their professional career to be visible to the global markets. If you're not visible, basically you are not available to work, right? This is one thing. Another thing is that AI literacy, right? AI fluency is the way forward in 2026 and onwards. And this is what I do as well. I teach people for AI fluency, especially for the non-techies who want to leverage AI for earning money, have a tech career, and eventually, relocate to US. This is the whole roadmap that I'm working on. But fundamentally, you need to be available for the market and again, sharpen your skills. That's 101.
Nice. And so you have worked for the same company in Pakistan and in US. What work culture difference did you notice?
So what I have seen when I came to US, I didn't know how to talk to clients, right? They used to talk about the American football, right? And I didn't know what are even the rules, right? How can I contribute if I don't know anything, right? So fundamentally, I think you should, especially if you're in a client-facing role, right, in the leadership roles, you need to understand how the American culture works. What's the pop culture? How they spend their weekend? What are some of the, weather trends on different parts of the country? It's a big country, right? So all these things help you navigate the conversation with customers and clients, and this is the fundamental shift what I have seen, right? Apart from that, you need to be fluent in English, and I think you might agree with me. This is one of the prereq that companies, when they are hiring for people from abroad, like India and Pakistan, they want to see if you are culturally fit, right? So I think this is very important if you want to secure your next job in this market in US.
Okay. And so I don't know if this is something even I have heard a lot. So how much do you think hard work plays a role and luck plays a role in relocation and everything?
Yeah, I would not say that I was not lucky, only hard worker I am here. You need to be lucky. But as I mentioned earlier, Anusha, you need to be available for the opportunity, right? Eventually, opportunity will come through, but you need to be there. And by that, I mean is you have all the skill set in the world, right? You are sitting in the right rooms, you are talking to your manager. Even if someone else is getting relocated, you should ask for your relocation. This is advice about the art of asking. Always ask for something. Don't be shy, right? Again, do the hard work, but one of my managers used to say, uh, with one hand, do the hard work, and on the other hand, you know, drum the bell, so that you're visible as well. Only work will not take you anywhere. So I have seen a lot of people who are hard worker, but they couldn't do it because they lack the confidence to, interact with people, go into those meetings where it matters. So all that stuff matters. Again, luck matters as well, and I'm lucky. So yeah.
Um, no, you work really hard as well. So, like in so what do you recommend? Like, for example, if I am working in a corporate right now and I am stuck at one position for years, so how do you get promoted? Like, what in your so what's your experience and recommendation around that?
What I have seen, especially in the US corporate culture, hard work alone will not give you the promotion, right? I also learned this the hard way. And The one fundamental thing that matters is your perception, right? You can create the perception in the very start when you enter the room, or when you join a company, or you can build it with time. It's your strategy. But the main thing is you work hard, you showcase your work, you reach out to the right people, have a good relationship with your leadership. I'm not saying that butter them in any way, but I think this is also a trait that most of the people don't know how to do it, right? And be available. If there is even a volunteer working your company, this goes a long way, right? You are available for the company to do it. So all these things matter. And again, hard work also matters. So do the hard work, give them the business outcomes that they invested in.